If your whole marketing plan is rank on Google and wait for clicks, your business is in big trouble, especially if you are a business that doesn't have much traction and that doesn't currently have much organic traffic. Google is literally taking content from websites and using that content to answer questions to users directly in AI answers. And in a lot of cases, they are not citing their sources. They're not giving you the credit. So in this short video, what I'll do is I'll explain, number one, how Google recently got caught stealing AI content. And what I also do is give you an SEO, GEO, AEO playbook that you can use to still win in 2026 and beyond. I'm Caleb Turner. Let's get started. So here's an example of what I'm referring to. It says Google deletes X post after getting caught using a stolen AI recipe infographic. So this is for a Thanksgiving recipe. Seems innocuous on the surface. The problem is that they took that content from a particular blogger and did not cite the source, did not give that person credit as they obviously would deserve. It says Google is facing backlash on X after a viral post for its Notebook LM appeared to use a food blogger's work without credit. Recently, Google launched Nano Banana Pro, its most powerful image model to date. The model is likely trained on millions of websites and videos, which explains why it's one of the best tools for generating realistic images. And it says, in one such promotion, Google's Notebook LM account shared an infographic recipe card for classic buttery herb stuffing, presented as a cozy family recipe you could generate with AI. So as it says here, this is the post. It says, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And you can see the graphic that they made for the buttery herb stuffing for Thanksgiving. Sounds pretty good, right? It says, after the post went live, ex-user Nate Hake compared the card to a stuffing recipe from the blog How Sweet Eats and found that it was strikingly identical. So again, this is from Google's post and this is from the original blog. Basically identical. It says, as the screenshot shows, the ingredients list and structure closely match the original post. Hake argued that the AI didn't think, but likely scraped the recipe word for word, ran it through Google's model, and turned it into a cutesy card. And then it just goes on, explains a little more. And what essentially happened was Google ended up deleting the post without giving the person credit, without acknowledging their error or anything. It says, if you thought Google was building these tools to fuel AI slop and not its ad revenue, then you are in for a shock. Google has already started testing ads in AI mode within the answers. It says these ads appear along with the citations. You might not even realize if they're organic links or ads. So essentially, this is the pattern that we're now seeing. Information from people's websites are being used and Google is not crediting them. And as it says here, they're also running ads. So they take your information, use it to answer questions or to provide value to a user, and you don't actually get the click, you don't get the follower, you don't get the subscriber, you don't get the eventual customer or client. So obviously my point is not that one anecdotal example. The point is this is the direction that search is going to in general. People are searching and Google is showing on their page the answer, and they are not necessarily clicking through to your website. They're not necessarily giving you the credit. And additional to that, as I just explained, in AI mode, they've begun showing ads. So that's more reason why you would not organically show up. Now, with that said, organic is still the largest. Organic and email marketing are still the largest channels. So people are still searching for products. They're still searching for services. And what that means is that you need to show up where people are searching, which is not only on the front page of Google anymore. That's out. It's now AI mode. It's now Gemini. It's now ChatGPT. It's now Perplexity. It's now Claude, etc. So that's what you need to be optimized for going into 2026. Now, briefly here, as you see here, Gemini 3 has rolled out as well, and it's essentially for more complex questions or queries. And as it says here, and this is Google's head of search, Liz Reed, speaking. She says, in the coming weeks, we're also enhancing our automatic model selection in search with Gemini 3. This means search will intelligently route your most challenging questions in AI mode and AI overviews to this frontier model. What that means in a nutshell is questions that are more complex are going to be, when you're searching in Google, in AI overviews would come up, or you're searching in Google's AI mode, Gemini 3 is going to answer that question. So it's the queries that are most, again, complex, most challenging, AI is answering. So again, that's what you need to be optimized for going into 2026. So the question is, what can be done about this? So to be clear, for the most part, it's the informational queries that are causing websites to lose traffic. A lot of news sites are losing traffic. But again, people have not reduced their buying. People have not reduced their spending. People have not reduced their shopping. So you still want to come up where people are. And some websites, a lot of those that focus on middle of funnel and bottom of funnel content that are transactional, that may be e-commerce in nature, etc., some of those websites are actually getting more traffic. So besides the standard things that I've already spoken about in many previous videos that some of you already know about, such as chunking, such as semantic optimization, such as adding FAQs, Q&As to your website, making sure you answer questions in a clear way, that you put the, your key takeaways at the top, your TLDR at the top of your content, etc. Besides all of those good things, which are great, what I recommend is creating lead magnets. For example, quizzes, calculators, checklists, templates, comparison sheets, demos, right? Visuals, videos. You want to offer something on your website that causes people to actually have to go to your website to get it, to interact with it, and to consume whatever it is that you're providing. So that's going to be very important moving forward. Another thing that you could do is block some of these AI crawlers from your website if you don't want them using information from your website in their answers and potentially not giving you the credit. Now, I don't recommend that in most cases. I think you have to be very, very specific in the way you do that, and you have to know what you're doing. Definitely don't want to block Googlebot and some of, GPT-bot, some of these important bots. So I would get with an SEO, AEO specialist before doing anything like that. With that being said, Google business profiles are also more important than ever. When people are searching for particularly local businesses, local services, they're still looking on Google. They're still looking in Google Map Pack for the most part. And local SEO is less affected by AI answers than standard search. So local search is a lot less affected by AI answers than standard search. And you want to make sure you have a clean GBP. Make sure you have, your business hours, photos, videos, etc., etc. You have your social medias on there. You have a review pipeline coming in consistently. All of that is going to be super important for local businesses, as well as setting up LSAs, which are local service ads, and configuring those and running those as well. Another piece that I can't recommend enough is going hard with digital PR, going hard with what's called off-page SEO, digital PR. I even made a video on my channel showing how a business was able to show up, for their business name and for certain queries, primarily by doing digital PR, by flooding the internet with news articles and guest posts about their business. And I showed in that video that their articles were cited specifically in Google's AI mode and ChatGPT, the same exact articles. And so you can do a similar thing for your business. Digital PR is extremely important when it comes to AI search, when it comes to answer engine optimization. LLMs love platforms like LinkedIn, Reddit, Quora, etc., Wikipedia when it comes to finding information and providing answers. They love review sites. They love all of that stuff. So that's going to be super important for your business going forward as well. So in summary, although zero-click search is increasing, where people are searching on Google and they aren't actually clicking through to any website for the answer because they're finding the answer on Google's page because Google's showing it in AI overviews, the organic channel is still growing. People are still purchasing more than ever. They're still looking for services online more than ever. And you want to show up where they are. Because old school standard 10 blue links SEO is slowly but surely dying. And search everywhere optimization or answer engine optimization or generative engine optimization is the future. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. You can go into the description box. We can run your website through an AI readiness checklist, let you know what you're lacking, what you're missing, and how you can improve. See you in the next video.